There's never been a time when someone has been able to sleep their way to the top. You always sleep your way to the bottom, and then you have to work your way back up to the top. That's how that works.
From director Thomas Gibson and executive producer Peter Spira, being a hip-hop groupie can certainly have its perks and its pitfalls. No female has ever made a career of being a groupie quite like best-selling author Corinne Steffens, a.k.a. Superhead.
I'm the first chapter of your book, and I ain't even got none.
She worked her way up to be a celebrity, but she's probably one of the most hated celebrities.
If I see Corinne, it's on and popping.
Kiss and Tell, the Hollywood Jump-Off. Narrated by yours truly.
So Kiss and Tell basically is also a rebuttal from myself and a lot of the other people that she kind of victimized.
Okay. Now, but you said you turned the bad situation into good. This sign behind you.
Yes.
Getting back to my me.
Yes.
What's that about?
Getting back to my me are the chronicles of my life. And there is a chapter about Corinne in there because she made me realize sheep's in wolf's clothing. So there's a when I first decided to write this book, it was revenge on what Corinne had done to me. And then as we began to write, Karen Hunter, who was a Pulitzer Prize author, helped Corinne write, co-wrote Corinne's first book. And when Corinne and I were friends, she went to tell me how she and Karen Hunter had fallen out. Karen Hunter was this, Karen Hunter was that. She was terrible and the devil and this, that, and the other. When Corinne and I fell out and I wanted to seek revenge, the first person I called to help me write my book was Karen Hunter. So as Karen Hunter and I started writing the book and we would, on the Corinne thing, I started sharing with her stories of my life, the abuse, self-mutilation through plastic surgery due to the abuse and not telling anyone, into going into rehab facilities and jail and this, that, and the other. And then also at the same time living a very high-profile, high-end life in Hollywood. So after all the things that I'd gone through, all the things that I thought that I had accomplished, the gold records, the house and this and the other, I realized that I was not a happy person. So I had to do some soul searching, some strong soul searching. And this book depicts my life and how I went about searching my soul and how I went about getting back to my me. Because the essence of who I was a great man with a good heart and good intentions. And with a passion for music, with a passion for singing, getting caught up in the Hollywood thing and getting caught up in trying to mask my pain with Hollywood-ish kind of stuff, I stopped singing. And I was riding on the wave of the reality show I had and this and that and the other until I realized that I just wasn't happy. And what Corinne did is when she told what she did in the book, basically that I was abused, and then she mentioned my mother's name, I knew I had to act and act quickly. So as I began to write the book changed and it shifted because it became about telling a story that would motivate, that would inspire, that would let people know that they are not the only ones that have had this experience. And what I do in my book is talk about the fact that it's so important not to keep a secret. It's got to come out of your mouth. If it's abuse, if it's whatever it is, it's important not to keep a secret because when you harbor those things, they manifest. And they can manifest in suicide. They can manifest in drug addiction. That can manifest in jail. So it's important to get it off your chest, and that's what I finally did. I've gotten back to my me, and I've never been happier in my life. I have a new record coming out, a new album, a new CD coming out, and one of the tracks is called Getting Back to Me, and in those 4 minutes of this song, I think I depict my whole life, and this book is probably, bar none, the most highest level of accomplishment that I've ever achieved.
Well, how long did it take you to write it? Because that's a journey of, I don't even know how old you are.
Yeah.
It's none of my business how old you are. But the reality of it is when you go through soul searching stuff like that, you can't do that in 10 minutes.
No, you can't
do that,
No, you can't. Well, here's the situation. I lived all of the things that I lived. From 6 years old is when the abuse happened. And I started self-mutilating through plastic surgery at my early 20s. I saw Oprah Winfrey show when I was, 21, 22. And when I was being raped and molested and all those things, I didn't relate that to abuse because I was 6 years old. Who knew what that was? And then when I was 20-something, 21 maybe, watching Oprah, and they had the panel, and they were talking about the older relatives and where they would do it and how they would do it. And my aha moment, and my red light went off. My light bulb went off, and I said, wow, that was me. Then I went through a period of anger, and it got worse. It got worse. So I said all that to say that I've lived it. And then when the aha moment happened, it was easy to write it down. It was like the floodgates opened. And I knew immediately what I had to do to change. I cut my face up because I didn't want to look like that person that had been raped and molested when I looked in the mirror. So I cut myself up. And then when I got back to my me and realized that people were thinking of me as demonic, as strange, as manufactured and put together, it offended me at first. And then when I looked in the mirror, I said, yeah, because I'm not allowing them to see me because I've made so many distractions happen. So in essence, what I did is I sought out a reconstructive surgeon, took him a picture of myself when I was a kid, when I was way younger, and got my face put back together. I got my nose put back, took all the implants and garbage that I had in my face, and I love me today. And so getting back to my me is not only about my spiritual getting back to my me, but my physical as well. And I don't know anybody or many people, I've never heard actually, of anyone's testimony that makes them victorious because they reversed plastic surgery, And the plastic surgery thing was a big thing in the sense that I never did it to look like anybody else, but I did it from a place of torture and hating the way I felt every time I looked in the mirror. So when I changed the stuff that I changed, and it was radical, and the blogs and people made fun of me, and it was a terrible experience. It didn't bother me because I didn't see torture when I looked in the mirror. Until one day somebody said on one of those blogs that I looked demonic, and I looked up in the mirror and I said, wow, and I started crying. I said, I see it, but I got to change this because now my face has to match my heart. I'd gotten in totality got it together who I was inside, and now the outside had to look like that. So that book right there, I tell you, it's something.
Okay, now when can we expect it to hit the shelves, or when can we?
March, spring 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a little voice in my head saying, will there be a movie?
We'll see. I've not even thought that far. I'm so excited about just being able to breathe. I'm excited about just being able to do me. It may be. I don't know. I'm getting back to my me. I've told the story. I'm getting back to my music. I've got all the other stuff.
Okay. What about the new album? When can we expect that?
You'll probably expect that at the same time. The single "Getting Back to My Me" will probably be out in, I don't know, July.
Okay.
That's wrong. Wait, this is August. In September.
September,
yeah. In September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you just told us about this Michael Jackson party you're gonna have. Now, I know I'm gonna be there.
Yes. Yes. Well, Michael Jackson was born on August the 29th. I was born on August the 28th. Now, he's older. Don't get it twisted. He was born on the 29th, and I'm known for giving lavish parties, but I backed off in the process of getting back to my me. And when Michael left us this year, I had to celebrate. I had to celebrate my new life, and I had to celebrate his life. And I don't get into all that other mess. All I know is he was brilliant. He was a genius. He made me smile. He changed a lot of my life. And our lives were very, very parallel, but that's a whole nother conversation. Because what he did was self-mutilate due to abuse. So I had to celebrate his life. So this party on August the 28th is going to be off the hook. I'm going to probably do a couple contests to get some folk in there. Yeah, so what the party is, it's a thriller theme, and it's all things Michael. So, we're going to be dancing on Michael all night. I'm performing. I got some special guests coming and performing. It's going to be crazy.
Okay, so you got a Facebook and everything, so let people know where to hit you up.
Yeah, well, more importantly, hit me up because I have a reality show as well with all the other stuff. And it airs in 17 countries, including the UK. And it airs here in America on my website. The episodes are up there. It's called Just Norwood, and it's www.justnorwoodmusic.com.
Cool. Thank you so much, Norwood.
Thank you so much, Alice.